That's wobble. That's wobble. Top of the day, beautiful people. Top of the day. Look, make sure myself is together here. Look presentable. Make sure I properly cover myself. Okay, Betwabu. Top of the day. Top of the day, beautiful people. Betwabu means house of the Father. It's how we greet one another in my land. Betwabu means house of the Father. Not only are we acknowledging that we are the house of the Father, but that we are the house of the Father. The Father resides inside of our house. House of the Father. All right, so Betwabu. All right, beautiful people. I hope you enjoyed your day of rest. I did. I really did. Now today is Sunday, the first day of the week. It is December 22nd, 2019. Guys, we about to be in 2020. 2020. We got about a little over a week left. And we in 2020, y'all. December the 22nd, 2019. Day 25, year 2. We are reading Exodus 23, 24, and 25. All right, so let's get right to it, people. Okay. Exodus chapter 23. Remember, they came out of Egypt. Now we're in the wilderness, and Yahuwah is giving instructions to the people on how to conduct themselves. They got to be trained. They got to be trained all over again because they've been in captivity. They didn't forget how to act, and so now he's laying out the requirements on how you are to conduct yourself as a people, as his people, towards him, towards one another, so that you do not violate him, yourself, or other people. So that's why all of this is given in such detail. All right, y'all. So Exodus 23. Thou shalt not raise a false report. Put not thine hand with the wicked to be an unrighteous witness. Thou shalt not follow a multitude to do evil. Neither shalt thou speak in a cause to decline after many to wresh judgment. Neither shalt thou countenance a poor man in his cause. That didn't make sense. Hold on. Neither shalt thou look upon a poor man in his cause. Okay. I'm just making sure I'm reading that right. Neither shalt thou countenance a poor man in his cause. If thou meet thine enemy's ox or his ass going astray, thou shalt surely bring it back to him again. If thou see the ass of him that hateth thee lying under his burden, and wouldest forbear to help him, that thou shalt surely help with him. Thou shalt not rest the judgment of the poor in his cause. Oh, he repeated that twice. I mean, we need to pay attention to that. Let's not show favoritism. Keep thee far from a false matter, and the innocent and righteous slay thou not. For I will not justify the wicked. And thou shalt take no gift, for the gift blindeth the wise and perverteth the words of the righteous. That is completely true. Bribes even begin to pervert righteous people. Matter of fact, if you were truly righteous, you would never begin to take a bribe in the first place. You would literally run away from that. Also, thou shalt not oppress a stranger, for ye know the heart of a stranger, seeing ye were strangers in the land of Egypt. And 6 years thou shalt sow thy land, and thou shalt gather in the fruits thereof. But the 7th year thou shalt let it rest and lie still, that the poor of thy people may eat, and what they leave the beasts of the field shall eat. In like manner thou shalt deal with thy vineyard and with thine olive yard. 6 days thou shalt do thy work, and on the 7th day thou shalt rest, that thine ox and thine ass may rest, and the son of thy handmaid and the stranger may be refreshed. And in all things that I have said unto you, be circumspect, and make no mention of the name of other gods, neither let it be heard out of thy mouth. A lot of times we forget this. We're not even to let the names of other gods, other deities, who are no gods at all, come across our lips. We shouldn't even speak their names. Verse 14. 3 times thou shalt keep a feast unto me in the year. Thou shalt keep the feast of unleavened bread. Thou shalt eat unleavened bread 7 days, as I commanded thee, in the time appointed in the month of Abib. For in it thou camest out of Egypt, and none shall appear before me empty. And the feast of harvest, the first fruits of thy labors which thou hast sown in the field, and the feast of ingathering, which is in the end of the year, thou hast gathered in the labors of the field. If you don't remember what the Feast of Ingathering is, that's Sukkot. Okay. 3 times in a year all thy males shall appear before Yahuwah. Thou shalt not offer blood of my sacrifice with unleavened bread, neither shall the fat of my sacrifice remain until the morning. The first of the first fruits of thy land thou shalt bring into the house of Yahuwah thy God. Thou shalt not see the kid in his mother's milk. Behold, I send an angel before thee to keep thee in the way and to bring thee into the place which I have prepared. Beware of him and his voice, provoke him not, for he will not pardon your transgressions, for my name is in him. But if thou shalt indeed obey my voice and do all that I speak, then I will be an enemy unto thine enemies, and an adversary unto thine adversaries. For mine angel also shall go before thee, and bring thee in unto the Amorites, and the Hittites, and the Perizzites, and the Canaanites, the Hivites, and the Jebusites, and I will cut them off. Thou shalt not bow down to their gods, nor serve them, nor do after their work, but thou shalt utterly overthrow them and quite break down their images. And ye shall serve Yahuwah your God, and he shall bless thy bread and thy water, and I will take sickness away from the midst of thee. Imagine, he said, if we keep his commands, he will continue to keep us, he will bless us, and he will take sickness away from the midst of us. He would take sickness away from the midst of us. Consider your ways. Consider your life. Seriously. There shall nothing cast their young, nor be barren in thy land. The number of thy days I will fulfill. I will send my fear before thee, and I will destroy all the people to whom thou shalt come. And I will make all thy enemies to turn their backs unto thee. And I will send hornets before thee, which shall drive out the Hivite, the Canaanite, and the Hittite from before thee. I will not drive them out from before thee in 1 year, lest the land become desolate, and the beasts of the field multiply against thee. By little and little I will drive them out from before thee, until thou be increased and inherit the land. And I will set bounds from the Red Sea, even unto the sea of the Philistines, and from the desert unto the river. For I will deliver the inhabitants of the land into your hand. Thou shalt drive them out from before thee. Thou shalt make no covenant with them, nor with their gods, and they shall not dwell in thy land, lest they make thee sin against me. For if thou serve their gods, it will surely be a snare unto thee. And they take a sip of water. Okay, y'all, chapter 24. Chapter 24 of Exodus, verse 1. And he said unto Massa, come up to Yahuwah, thou and Aaron, Nadab and Abihu, and 70 elders of ye Solili, and worship ye afar off. And Massa alone shall come near to Yahuwah, but they shall not come nigh, neither shall the people go up with him. And Massa came down and told the people all the words of Yahuwah and all the judgments, and all the people answered with one voice and said, all the words which Yahuwah hath said we will do. And Massa wrote all the words of Yahuwah, and rose up early in the morning, and builded an altar under the hill, and 12 pillars according to the 12 tribes of Yisolili. And he sent the young men of the children of Yisolili, which offered burnt offerings and sacrificed peace offerings of oxen unto Yahuwah. And Massa took half of the blood and put it in the basins, and half of the blood he sprinkled on the altar. And he took the book of the covenant and read it in the audience of the people. And they said, all that Yahuwah has said we will do, and be obedient. How many of us are really keeping to that, huh? Verse 8, and Massa took the blood and sprinkled it on the people, and said, behold, the blood of the covenant which Yahuwah hath made with you concerning all these words. Then went up Massa and Aaron, Nadab and Abihu, and 70 elders of Yisolili, or Israel. Israel is the proper name is Yisolili, or depending on which Bantu language is Yisaela or Yisolili. And they saw Yahuwah, the God of Yisolili, and there was under him, listen to this, listen to what it said. A lot of times we skip over this, right? Moses, Aaron, Nadab, Abihu, and the 70 elders of Yisolili went up the mountain, and it says, they saw his feet. Listen to this, listen. And they saw Yahuwah, the God of Yisolili, and there was under his feet as it were a paved work of a sapphire stone, and as it were the body of heaven in his clearness. And upon the nobles of the children of Yisolili he laid not his hand. Also they saw Yahuwah and did eat and drink. Now, if you read in other versions say, and he did not kill them, or they did not die. They looked upon him and they did not die. This says that, it says, and upon the nobles of the children of Yisolili he laid not his hand. Also they saw Yahuwah and did eat and drink. So they literally sat there in his presence, sharing a meal. Matter of fact, another version says that they sat in his presence and they shared a meal, and he did not kill them. Like, they were astonished because they got to see him and they did not die. Think about that. Okay? All right, verse 12. And Yahuwah said unto Massa, come up to me in the mount and be there, and I will give thee tablets of stone and a law and a commandments which I have written, which thou may teach them. And Massa rose up, and his minister Joshua, and Massa went up into the mount of Yahuwah. And he said unto the elders, tarry ye here for us until we come again unto you. And behold, Aaron and Hur are with you. If any man have any matters to do, let him come unto them. And Massa went up into the mount, and a cloud covered the mount. And the glory of Yahuwah abode upon Mount Sinai. And the cloud covered it 6 days. And the seventh day he called Massa out of the midst of the cloud. And in the sight of the glory of Yahuwah was like devouring fire on the top of the mount in the eyes of the children of Yisolili. And Massa went up into the midst of the cloud and got him up into the mount. And Massa was in the mount 40 days and 40 nights. All right. Yeah, so of course, Yahuwah had to teach him. He was up there. He was listening to the instruction. Yahuwah was writing it down. And he had to go back down and teach him. So it take a little time, you know. Last chapter for the day. This is fast. Chapter 25 of Exodus. And Yahuwah spake unto Massa, saying, speak unto the children of Yisolili that they bring me an offering. Of every man that giveth it willingly with his heart, ye shall take my offering. And this is the offering which ye shall take of them: gold and silver and brass, and blue and purple, and scarlet, and fine linen of goat's hair, and ram skins dyed red, and badger skins, and shittim wood, oil for the light, spices for anointing oil, and sweet incense, onyx stones, and the stones to be set in the ephod and in the breastplate. And let them make me a sanctuary, that I may dwell among them, according to all that I show thee, after the pattern of the tabernacle, and the pattern of all the instruments thereof, even so ye shall make it. And they shall make an ark of shittim wood, 2 cubits and a half shall be the length thereof, and 1 cubit and a half the breadth thereof, and 1 cubit and a half the height thereof. And it shall overlay it. And thou shalt overlay it with pure gold. Within and without shalt thou overlay it, and shalt make upon it a crown of gold round about. And thou shalt cast 4 rings of gold for it, and put them in the 4 corners thereof. And 2 rings shall be in the one side of it, and 2 rings in the other side of it. And thou shalt make staves of shittim wood, and overlay them with gold. And thou shalt put staves into the rings by the sides of the ark, that the ark may be borne with them. The staves shall be in the rings of the ark, they shall not be taken from it. And thou shalt put into the ark of the testimony which I shall give thee. And thou shalt make a mercy seat of pure gold, 2 cubits and a half shall be the length thereof, and 1 cubit and a half the breadth thereof. And thou shalt make 2 cherubims of gold, of beaten work shalt thou make them, in 2 ends of the mercy seat. And make 1 cherub on one end, and the other cherub on the other end, even of the mercy seat ye shall make the cherubims on the 2 ends thereof. And the cherubims shall stretch forth their wings on high, covering the mercy seat with their wings, and their faces shall look to one another. Toward the mercy seat shall the faces of the cherubims be. And thou shalt put the mercy seat above upon the ark. And in the ark thou shalt put the testimony that I shall give thee. And there I will meet with thee, and I will commune with thee from above the mercy seat, from between the 2 cherubims which are upon the ark of the testimony, of all things which I will give thee in commandment unto the children of Yisolili. Thou shalt also make a table of shittim wood, 2 cubits shall be the length thereof, and 1 cubit the breadth thereof, and a cubit and a half the height thereof. And thou shalt overlay it with pure gold, and make thereto a crown of gold round about. And thou shalt make unto it a border of a handbreadth round about. And thou shalt make a golden crown to the border thereof round about. And thou shalt make it for 4 rings of gold, and put the rings in the 4 corners that are on the 4 feet thereof. Over against the border shall the rings be for places of the staves to bear the table. And thou shalt make the staves of shittim wood, and overlay them with gold, and the table may be borne with them, that the table may be borne with them. And thou shalt make the dishes thereof, and spoons thereof, and covers thereof, and bowls thereof, to cover withal of pure gold thou shalt make them. And thou shalt set upon the table showbread before me always. And thou shalt make a candlestick of pure gold. Of beaten work shall the candlestick be made. His shaft and his branches, his bowls, his knops, and his flowers shall be of the same. And 6 branches shall come out of the sides of it, 3 branches of the candlestick out of the one side, and 3 branches of the candlestick out of the other side. 3 bowls made like unto almonds, with a knot and a flower in one branch, and 3 bowls made like almonds in the other branch, with a knot and a flower, so in the 6 branches that come out of the candlestick. And in the candlestick shall be 4 bowls made like unto almonds, with their knops and their flowers. And there shall be a knot under 2 branches of the same, and a knot under 2 branches of the same, and a knot under 2 branches of the same, according to the 6 branches that proceed out of the candlestick. Their knops and their branches shall be the same, and it shall be one beaten work of pure gold. And thou shalt make the 7 lamps thereof, and they shall light the lamps thereof, that they may give light over against it. And the tongs thereof and the snuff dishes thereof shall be of pure gold. Of a talent of pure gold shall he make it with all these vessels. And look that thou make them after their pattern, which was showed thee in the mouth. And that is our reading for today. It is Sunday, December the 22nd, 2019, day 25, year 2. And we just read Exodus 23, 24, and 25. So he's given rules and regulations on how to conduct themselves and how to build the tabernacle, and the specific instructions on how to put it together with all of its, well, actually he hasn't given the dimensions of it just yet. He's just talking about the beautiful things that are going to go inside of it, for the priests to use when they stand in their office to minister unto Yah. Keep the watch. All right, y'all. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and let you get out of here. May Yahuwah bless us and keep us. May Yahuwah make his face to shine upon us and lift his countenance upon us and be gracious unto us in our households. And may he give us his peace, his shalom, or his salama. Salama means shalom or peace, wholeness in every area of life. So may he continue to keep us as we keep his commands. I love you all, and I will see you bright and early in the morning. Peace.